And every leader will respond differently. Take British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. His plan is to shrink the government. How would that work? Through mass layoffs. Boris Johnson wants to cut 90,000 civil service jobs. He's given his ministers 1 month. By then, they must come up with a plan. If successful, Britain's civil service will be slashed by a fifth. How does that help the government? Like it would help any employer. If you have less workers, you spend less on wages. That's what the British government is doing, firing people to save money. And how much money are they saving? Around $4.3 billion. That's how much Britain could save by trimming the civil service. And this money could fund Boris Johnson's tax cuts. You see, Britain too is suffering with inflation. The Bank of England is projecting a 10% by the end of 2022. 10% inflation. Their target was just 2%. So safe to say, inflation is spiraling out of control. Boris Johnson's response was to try and cut taxes. He wanted to give households more cash in hand. Just one problem, the Treasury did not agree. So Boris Johnson has found a plan to balance the books. Cut down the civil service, save $4 billion, then use that money to fund his tax cuts. The Treasury is yet to comment on this plan. Rumour is Rishi Sunak is not in favour of cutting taxes now. He wants them later on, possibly by 2024. And this rift was played up by the British media. Some reports also hinted at a possible cabinet reshuffle. Either way, Britain needs to act fast. In the first quarter of 2022, they outperformed both the US and the Eurozone. Their GDP grew by 0.8%, but the latest data is not encouraging. In the month of March, Britain's economy shrank by 0.1%. Car sales, services output, everything was down. So the situation across the West is the same. In the US, in the Eurozone, in the UK, every government is struggling to find the sweet spot between inflation and growth. Could Boris Johnson's tax cuts do the trick? Well, on paper, they do make sense, but two questions still remain. Number one, how will the civil servants react? In Britain, they're a very powerful group. In fact, they're employees of the Crown, not the Parliament. So cutting 90,000 jobs will trigger a standoff. The powerful unions on one side and the British government on the other. Question number two, who gets the tax cuts? If the struggling households get some relief, then great. If not, it will be another pointless effort. Well, that's what some lawmakers are worried about. Because after all, this is a Conservative government. Traditionally, their cuts benefit the rich. In fact, Boris Johnson had proposed one such tax cut for 2024. That proposal was poised to benefit the top half of earners. Is this proposal the same, or has Boris Johnson changed his plan? The end result will depend on which way the Prime Minister goes. Right now, Johnson is not giving away very much. He's promising to do quote-unquote things, but he's not explained what are those things.
We will do things to help people in the short term, of course, and I'm not going to anticipate anything more that we may do. But the crucial thing is to make sure that we have the strong employment situation, because that is the key thing.
Well, this could be a defining moment in Boris Johnson's career. He's facing the heat for Partygate. He's lost the local elections to Labour. His economy is in bad shape. What Johnson does now could decide his future. If he can balance inflation and growth, he may survive. If not, he could face a revolt. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.